Imagine an envelope on your kitchen table. $800 billion. $8.51. Same story. The big number is what the biggest technology companies have committed to artificial intelligence this year. The small number is what a power company in Virginia just added to a bill like yours. For nothing anybody in that house can see or touch. Every month. Now picture your own kitchen before anyone else is up. A single lamp above the stove. The post where it always lands. The envelope with the window in it. You know its shape before you turn it over. You open it standing up. Same house, same lights. In 2020, the average American paid 12.76 cents for a unit of power. This year, 17.44. Nobody knocked on your door to explain that. The meter in your hallway turned quietly all year and never once asked your permission. You did not buy anything new. You did not leave a light on. Nothing in your house changed. They made you a promise. Nobody asked you to sign it. We are building something that changes everything, and it is worth every dollar. That promise is coming apart. The bill is not landing on a boardroom table somewhere. It is landing on the table in front of you. Your name is at the top. Your name. Microsoft, Alphabet, Amazon, Meta, Oracle. Between them, they have committed around $690 billion to AI this year. Across the whole industry, the bet lands near $800 billion. Numbers that big mean nothing to you. So take what those companies put in between them. Split it across every person in America. A baby, a pensioner, you. You land on about $2,000 each. In your name. For buildings you will never walk into. Warehouses full of computers. Data centers, they call them. Nobody asked you. And the power inside those buildings runs through your wires. Your meter, your bill. Where does that money come from? A company earns it or it borrows it. Both of these are borrowing. Alphabet's long-term debt more than doubled in 6 months. Past $98 billion. Amazon's almost doubled, and it did it in less time. Both of them used to sit on more cash than you could picture. Now your own street. Imagine your neighbor quietly doubles the mortgage on the house next door. You would notice. You would ask him what happened. You would sleep a little worse that week. A little worse. This is that, with 9 more zeros. And every dollar they borrow comes back with interest attached. Their debt moved. Your street did not. Nothing in your house changed. Now the company at the center of it. OpenAI. They spend far more on computing power than they take in. Every number behind that sentence comes out of their own filings. Not a little more. Shrink it to your kitchen table. Imagine your pay is $1,300 a month, and your spending is $6,000. Every month. You would not last a year. Your bank would be calling you long before that. The letters land in the same pile of post you sorted this morning. Long before that. OpenAI expects to lose more this year than it earns in the whole year. All of it, and then some. Their plan is to reach $100 billion in income before the decade is out. Nobody has ever sold AI at that scale. Not to you, not to anyone. Now watch it go in circles. NVIDIA put money into OpenAI. OpenAI signed a cloud contract with Oracle. Oracle buys its chips from NVIDIA. The money came home. Think of a baker on your street. He lends you $20. You spend it on his bread. He can tell you truthfully that he sold the bread. His books will show it. And still, not one new dollar walked into that shop. Not yours, not anyone else's. Not one. It was his own money, back through your hands. And you still owe him for it. What OpenAI has promised to pay for adds up to about $1.4 trillion. 100 times what they earn in a year. That is not money earned. That is money promised. The money went round. Nothing in your house changed. This year, the Federal Reserve put AI spending second on its list of the biggest threats. That is, the American Central Bank. Its whole job is keeping the money system standing. Second on the list. Only war and politics ranked higher. Nobody mails you that warning. You have to go and find it. But it is about your money. It reaches your meter before it reaches a headline. Your bill is already carrying this. Every $10 you paid back then is about $14 now. Same lights, same rooms, same habits you had before any of this started. You changed nothing. And it keeps climbing. Goldman Sachs is a bank, not a protest group. They expect AI building alone to add $6 on every 100 you pay next year. 6 on every 100. Then 3 more through 2028. The price of what flows into your house changed. Nothing in your house changed. In Virginia, those warehouses took 4 of every 10 units of electricity in the whole state in 2024. The power company there had not raised its base rate since 1992. It just did. That is the $8.51 a month. The envelope you were holding at the start. $100 a year on your bill. For nothing you can see or touch. Or touch. Small if your month is comfortable, not small if you are already counting what is left. And this is early. Your wires were built decades ago for houses and shops, not for this. You are paying for the difference. You have seen this movie before. In 1999, companies buried hundreds of billions of dollars of cable underground. The pipes your internet still runs through. Everyone agreed you would need them. You did. Too late. The companies that laid it went broke before you ever used it. The technology won. The people who paid for it lost everything. 24 of the 30 biggest telephone companies went bankrupt. Their suppliers were lending them the money. 9 of them, about $25.6 billion in total, and Lucent alone put up $8.1 billion. The banks had already said no. The suppliers kept lending. That sounds small to you today. It ended them. NVIDIA's announced financing plan runs to about $500 billion. 20 times the thing that killed Lucent and Nortel. Same shape as the circle you just saw. The seller funds the buyer, and your name is on the loan. One difference matters to you. In 1999, that money bought cable that lasted 20 years. Still under the road outside your house carrying everything you watch. Still under the road. This money buys chips that are old in 2. Nothing in your house changed. A circle does not make new money. Someone outside has to pay in. That is you. What do you pay for AI every month? Your ChatGPT subscription if you have one. Copilot. Gemini. Hold that number. The whole plan assumes you keep paying it. Every month. For years. And not just you. Millions of people like you paying every month without stopping. Never switching to whatever turns out to be cheaper next spring. Without stopping. That is the income this entire bet is standing on. You are not watching the story from the outside. You are the income line. So ask yourself the question they skipped. Is it worth it to you this month at that price? Whatever your answer is, $1 trillion is leaning on it. That is the payment you see. The one you did not choose is already in your house, your electricity bill. Not next year, this month. Go and get it. Your bill has 2 halves. One is the power you actually used. The other is delivery, what your local company charges to carry that power to your door. Look for a line that says delivery or distribution or network charge. That line is where new demand shows up first. Somebody builds a warehouse on the edge of a town 2 hours away. It eats the power of a small city. The wires have to grow. That costs money. And that cost lands on your delivery line. Most people never look at that half of their bill. You are about to. Now do something with it. Your bill shows how many units you used and what you paid in total. Divide the total by the units. Now you have your own price per unit. Not a national average, yours. Then find a bill from a few years back. It is in the online account behind the login you never use. Put the 2 side by side. Side by side. Compare the price per unit, not the total. The total moves when the weather moves. The price per unit tells you what changed. If yours went from around 13 to around 17 cents, you are living the national average. If it went further, something local is pushing it. In Baltimore, you would be paying more than $17 extra a month, over $200 a year. Outside America, the words on your bill differ. The split does not. And you found that out before anyone explained it to you. Now, the part of your bill that was set without asking you. In many regions, the price of power is decided at an auction. Companies bid against each other to supply your grid. Where that bidding stops is the price everybody gets. Everybody. One year, the grid paid $28 for a block of standby power. The next auction, $269. The total bill for that one auction went from $2.2 billion to $14.7 billion. 6 times more for the same grid. That money comes from people on that grid, from you. When demand jumps, that price jumps with it. It reaches your statement later. That price is already fixed before you ever see it. Part of your next bill was decided in a room you are not in. Now, the money you are not holding, the money that is holding you. If you have a pension or a savings fund, part of it sits in the stock market. Most of that money sits in something called an index fund. Simple idea. Instead of picking companies one by one, The fund buys a slice of every big company on a list. America's main list has 500 names. 500 names. Your statement names your fund. Take that name and search it with the words top 10 holdings. You will get a list. Read the first 10 names out loud. Microsoft, Nvidia, Apple, Amazon, Alphabet, Meta. If they're on it, you already own a piece of this bet. You never chose it. Nobody had to ask you. Now, the size of your slice. Take the 10 biggest companies on that list of 500. Together, they are between 38 and 40% of the whole thing. 4 of every $10, including 4 of every 10 of yours. 7 tech names on their own are about a third. When those 7 move, your fund moves, whatever else it owns. At the top of the dot-com boom in 2000, the 10 biggest were a bit more than a quarter. Today it sits higher, and so does yours. That is not a prediction. Nobody can tell you what happens next. It is simply where your money is standing right now. A fund you picked once, years ago, in an afternoon. You have not opened it since. Not since. Knowing that is not a reason to panic. It is a reason to look once, with your own eyes. All of that assumes demand keeps growing. It may not be, and that matters to you. This year, Microsoft walked away from about 200 megawatts of data center space it had already reserved. A megawatt is a measure of electricity. 200 is roughly what a small city pulls. That power was going to run through a grid like yours, onto a bill like yours. Microsoft also stopped turning draft agreements into signed ones. TD Cowen read that as demand falling faster than the announcements you see. Microsoft says it is pacing itself, not retreating, and you should weigh that. And serious people will tell you there is no bubble at all. Janus Henderson, a large investment firm, calls it a virtuous cycle. Everyone lifting each other up, you along with them. They may be right. You do not have to pick a side, because your fund is quietly holding both answers already. Both answers. And your bill does not wait for either one. Now what they write. One boring sentence in a yearly report from a company your fund probably owns. How long they expect a computer to last. It sounds like nothing to you. It moves billions. Say you buy a laptop for $1,200. You expect 4 years out of it, so you count $300 a year. Now say 6 years instead. Suddenly it is $200 a year. Same laptop, same money out of your pocket. But your yearly costs look $100 better on paper. The laptop on the desk in front of you has no idea. No idea. Only the sentence changed. Big tech stretched exactly that assumption. From 3 or 4 years to 6. That single change cut their reported costs by around $18 billion a year, about $50 million a day. From one sentence you are allowed to see. So how long do those chips really last? Nobody agrees. You should hear both sides. Michael Burry, the investor who called the housing crash, says 2 or 3 years in practice, roughly half the life you were shown. He puts the missing cost at about $176 billion between now and 2028. $60 billion a year, sitting inside companies your pension holds for you. That is his argument, not a settled fact. You do not have to take his word. Goldman Sachs tested it differently. Take the lifespan from 5 years down to 3. The total cost through 2031 goes from about $3 trillion to about 4. 1,000 billion more. Nobody's asking you to pick a side here. Both sides are arguing about money you already own. And watch who moved first. Amazon quietly shortened the life of some of its servers, from 6 years back to 5. They blame the speed of AI itself, back to 5. Nobody sent you a letter about your own pension. Their bookkeeping is quietly part of yours. Their assumption moved. Nothing in your house changed. And you can find that sentence yourself. Every listed company publishes a yearly report, free for you to open. The part you want is called property and equipment. The words you want are useful life. Write down the number of years you find. Check it again next year. If it's stretched, costs are being pushed into the future. If it shrank, the assumption got harder to defend. Either way, you knew before anyone told you. And if you want one number for the whole story, take this one. Right now, those warehouses use about 1 unit of American electricity in every 23. By 2028, estimates run between 1 in 15 and 1 in 8. Nobody knows which. That number gets published every year. You can watch it move. None of this means AI stops. The technology is not fake. Nothing here is advice about your money. Nobody in this video knows what your funds should do next. It means the promise arrived before the maths did. The promise was, this changes everything and you benefit. The math says, we borrowed more than anyone ever has for one technology, and we need you to pay while we find out whether it works. While we find out. Nobody can promise you that the benefit arrives before your bill does. You are never asked. You are being billed. Nothing in your house changed. That was never the argument. The bill changed anyway. So do one thing about it. Go and get your last electricity bill. Tonight, not next week. Find the delivery line. Write that number on the back of the envelope. Write today's date next to it. 2 minutes. In 12 months, you pull out a new bill. You put the two envelopes side by side. Same kitchen table where this started. You have two numbers instead of one. Two numbers. Your number from your address in your handwriting. That is where $800 billion meets your kitchen table. Tonight, one thing in your house changes. You looked. A circle needs money from outside. Your meter is one door. Your pension is a second. Is there a third? That is what I'm going after next.